you have to realize how much men benefit from having a woman in their life. Like just one woman, they benefit in a multitude of ways, in multifaceted ways. When a man has access to a woman, he gains confidence, he gains support, he gets desire, he now has fantasy. Most importantly, he now has inspiration. Men gain so much from having one singular woman in their proximity, in their world. Okay? That is why being a woman comes with a great deal of responsibility. You as a woman, you gotta know who hand to put that in. You gotta know who hand to put that in, because everybody can't. You're responsible for that. You are responsible for the hand of which you place yourself. You're responsible for that. Think about that. Think long and hard about that.
Shout out to the content creator. I think this is a very interesting take because she actually speaking a lot of facts, man. And I've said this across a lot of different videos about how if a woman knows how to tap into her femininity, it's so much power behind that. It's so much. And it's been since day one. And I always joke about, Adam and Eve or whatever, and how Eve had the power of manipulation to really talk Adam into eating the apple or the fruit, right? And it's kind of the same token as, this day, man, when a woman's really tapped into her femininity, she can make a man do anything. She can make a man run off a cliff, man. I'm serious. Now, I want to touch on something real quick before I kind of deep dive. She said that, basically men get so much from when they gain one woman, right? And again, here's the thing. I got to put some context on this. It can't just be any woman though. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be any woman. But I think what she's referring to when it's a good, solid woman who could be potentially like a wife, who brings so much value to you that, hey, what she said, the man's inspired, right? He's motivated, he's uplifted, right? He has something basically like purpose, something to look forward to. You see what I'm saying? And I actually agree with that. I think when a man finds the right woman, he finds the woman who has his back, who's loyal, who's going to go to the end of the earth with him. That man is going to do everything in his power to covenant that woman, to protect her, to provide, right? And just to pour into her so much because he like, listen, there's 1 million women on this planet, 1 billion women on this planet. But I chose you because you match me. You match what I'm trying to do as far as my purpose and my goal, right? And you bring that value to me where it uplifts me, right? It motivates me. It brings purpose in my life. It brings joy, it brings happiness, it brings peace, right? I think that there are women out there like that. However, the caveat is every man ain't ready for that. They just not. And you know me, I have to every video, not every video, but most of the time when we talking about men and how they can be so successful, man. A lot of us just not there yet. We went, if the woman came across a lot of these men who can give them this, what she's saying, they won't be ready. It would pass right by them, right? Because they're not magnetic yet. They haven't created a system where they can attract that type of woman. Again, they haven't poured into themselves. They haven't developed themselves where they can even hold down that type of woman who will pour into them. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of men out here are already lazy. So if they get this type of woman, right, they're gonna sit on that power and that love. They're not gonna be motivated to keep going. They're just gonna keep taking, and just allowing a woman to pour into them. But the thing about it is, if she's pouring into them, they just an empty cup. They're just gonna go right out. They're not gonna be filled because they're not filled themselves. And this is why it's so important when you meet somebody that you already know who you are and they already know who they are. And at that point, you guys can just gel and mesh. because it's not. Then it's a sequence. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance of things, right? There's no power struggle. It's just you guys, you know, really leveling up with each other. But I think she had a great message, you know? And again, the last thing that she said on it that she touched was like, women, y'all have to be responsible and know that you guys have this type of power. And I think that a lot of women out here now, they may know they have that power, but they don't use it for good, right? Because there's a lot of ego out here on both sides, but a lot of women, because women are up right now. You know what I mean? Again, they're flourishing their careers, which I think is an awesome thing. They getting hella money. They running up the bag, right? They look better than they've always. I mean, listen, women always been beautiful, but the fact that they can add and enhance that, oh man, listen, right? They can add and enhance. They can live where they want to live. They can do what they want to do. It's just total freedom. But I call it new money. I call it new money because it is, a lot of it is new for a lot of women, and it's an ego thing. It's like they're smelling themselves. And again, I get it. They have to mature in this position, and they haven't yet, right? Men have always had money, and don't get me wrong, they peacock a lot when they get a lot of money. They be flashy, but that's them trying to attract, you know, the wife. But when they find somebody loyal and somebody who can hold them down, they mature real fast for the most part. Real men, right? But you know, women, they do hold a lot of power, man. But a lot of them just don't use it for good. And so then they get caught up themselves because, you know, they may run into some knuckleheads and, you know, they get all caught up in emotions. Then, you know, they kind of messed up in the game earlier in the game. So, but again, man, like I said, I think this was a great message. Not only to the men, but to the women out there, to just let them know, like, yo, if you yourself as a man are on point, doing what you got to do, if you come across this type of woman, man, she is just gonna elevate you. She is, and I agree with her. Like, if you find one, you don't need 10 women. You just don't. You just don't, man. Like, when you young or whatever, you running around, sure, right? Have your fun, right? On both sides, ain't nothing wrong with that. But when you ready to really like find something real, something that, you know, that's purposeful, you know, you don't listen. Here's the thing: as a man, when you this is when you know you mature, is when you stop running around the streets and you like, look, you know, I can get that. I get what's between a woman's leg from anywhere. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of them don't have they don't have the mindset. And when you go searching for that, that's when you know you mature. You follow me? And you want that one woman. Again, she's not gonna be perfect, but you want that one woman who can provide a lot of things that really level you up, you know, mentally, spiritually, right? And shoot, even sometimes financially, helping you grow, you know, your life and your money. Ain't nothing wrong with that either. But you have to be, as the man, you have to be ready to receive that, meaning you have to do the work first. And I always said, you know what I'm saying, fitness, finance, and faith. You need all three. And that's where it starts. So that way, when you come across this woman, you'll be ready and you won't miss her. So with that being said, I hope y'all got a lot of value from this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video off for anybody who may need to hear this message. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.